This was an early November ride for us. In Michigan, that's pretty unusual, but we had just a great day for it and really set out to enjoy some back roads as well as riding some of M25 along Lake Huron. We ended up at Forester Inn for a fantastic lunch. I had prime rib and it was absolutely amazing. We'd be riding road bikes, but today we decided back roads looked pretty interesting. I'm on a Triumph 800 cross country and my buddy is on a 650 Honda. We had a great ride. Again, not quite as comfortable as my Ultra Classic, but I don't take that on dirt roads, so we did see some really cool stuff on the back roads once we got a little farther north of Lexington. This video with an Insta360 X4. I just didn't want you to think I'm holding the camera and turning it around and facing it different directions while I'm riding. Pretty simple. I've just got a remote control button on my hand grip and that's on and off. That's all there is to it. Does not really cause any lack of concentration on what's going on with the road. Ended up ducking down a lot of the little side roads, looking at the cottage neighborhoods along Lake Huron. It was really a fun ride. We got to see a lot of things we haven't seen here, even though I grew up in this area. We just don't normally make time to do these little turnoffs and see what's down here. Just a beautiful private beach owned by one of these little subdivisions on the east side of M25 south of Lexington. It really would be easy to live in this sub and enjoy that beach. Obviously not a ton of people show up on the beach every day, so it would feel very private, and the sub was clean and up to date, and although it did have dirt roads, it really was a decent place that you could spend year-round living, for sure. Was yet another sub with a really nice beach at the end. They had a little deck and a turnaround. Just a great place to live if you don't have a home right on Lake Huron itself. If you love the water, this is a great way to do it on a somewhat economical level. point, we're taking you through the village of Lexington. Paved roads, normal small town stuff, not a subdivision. We will end up going past a boat ramp and then down to the harbor. They are clearing this beautiful park they had to redo it. It should be quite a place to see next year. Right now, it's nothing but a pile of dirt, but I suspect they have some great plans for it because the prior park was well used. Lots of music videos, concerts, movies. They really know how to use the park on the weekends up in Lexington. It's definitely a resort town in the summer. This parking lot belongs to my favorite restaurant in Lexington. It's called the Windjammer. It's been through multiple owners and closed different periods, but it's been around my entire life. I loved it as a kid, and I love it even more now. We can take the boat up, park in Lexington, have lunch, dinner, whatever, and head back home. It's a great spot to stop on a motorcycle as well. There's always a few bikes in the parking lot if the weather supports it. The parking lot was empty because it was actually closed on Tuesday and Wednesday this time of year. Streets are just a little bit more of the village of Lexington residential area. We'll go ahead a couple blocks, turn left back towards M25 and make a right turn and keep heading north towards Port Sanilac. Not notice if you don't live right on the shores of one of the Great Lakes, but the leaves fall and turn later in the season than they do inland. I assume it's just the moderating temperature of the lake water. It keeps the nights from being quite as cold and the days from being quite as hot. But inland, the leaves will be mostly gone now, and again along the shore, there's still quite a bit hanging in there. At my home on the lake, we really have most of the leaves still in the trees that will need to be picked up later in November. This little detour was Lexington Park Campground. I've never stayed here, but it looks like a nice little spot if you wanted to spend a weekend on the beach. Looks like you might be packed in pretty tight to your neighbors, but still a really nice little campground for anybody that wants to spend a weekend on the shores of Lake Huron. Shortly after getting back on M25 from Lexington Campground, we made a left turn on some dirt roads to slow things down a little and get out into the country and maybe see some wildlife and a little more color on the trees. although the farther you get from the lake, the fewer leaves are on the trees. The kind of riding that I really enjoy but just cannot do on my Harley. This is definitely adventure bike territory, not for a road bike. In case you didn't notice, it appears that a bug found the lens of my Insta360. I eventually get that wiped off, but not until we get to lunch. There are several of these beautiful turnoffs off of M25 right on Lake Huron between Lexington and Port Sanilac. If you're ever up here and have some time to kill, definitely make it a point to stop and take a look at the view. They are up on a bluff over the lake and they are just beautiful. Just pulling into Port Sanilac at this point, passing the Stone Lodge. We were planning to eat there, but it was closed today, so we're going to continue on a few miles to the Forester Inn. Ourselves back along the shores of Lake Huron on M25. We're just about to pull into Forester. On the left side is a Jellystone campground we're passing right now. Quite a large campground and very popular in the summer. Not a whole lot going on there this time of year. We just come through a blinking caution light and we'll be at the Forester Inn, which is showing up right here on our right side. Great spot again to stop and have a bite or a cold one. There are lots of bikes here during the summer, but we didn't see many out riding with us on this day. It wasn't too cold. It was in the high 50s, maybe approaching 60, but not really riding weather, and it's really kind of past the riding season. This is the interior of the inn. It is very authentic. It's been like this ever since I can remember it. It's a nice bar. The food here is what really makes this place good. It's cool because it's old and original, but again, the food is just amazing. I absolutely love eating here, and I think I mentioned earlier, I had a big prime rib that was just awesome. And of course, they've got burgers and everything else. My riding buddy had a fish dinner, which was basically cod or walleye. We weren't really sure. The lady was a little wishy-washy on describing it, but man, it was some good fish. I'd go back and order that in a heartbeat as well. Here we're just exploring a dead-end road that goes down to a abandoned pier, probably from the late 1800s when this was a logging area. But because we're both scuba divers, we found it interesting to check out. It goes way out there, and I'd like to know more about it. At this point, we've begun our long trek back home. We're probably an hour and a half from Port Huron, and we made it longer because we hit some dirt roads and played around and did some exploring. But you'd be about an hour and a half coming down M25 if you just went straight home. We are back on some dirt, enjoying the countryside, scooting by on either side of us. Just a beautiful day. Trees still had some color, blue sky, very enjoyable ride. Of the harvesting is done now, but there were a few fields with corn still standing, so I imagine that will be gone in the next week or so. We are pulling back into Lexington, this time from the north, coming down M25 towards the south. For riding along with us today. If you enjoyed this or found it informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We won't have a lot of motorcycling videos coming up in the next few months, but they will continue next year, and I will have a series of Southwest hiking videos this winter. So if you're interested, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.